It's a little cool part here that's kind of like abstract. A lot of humming there. It's this. I gotta do something about that. Kind of dowsing on that one. Yeah, it just had a good feel to it. Just kind of. Yeah, I'll play that part back again. The humming there is terrible. What it is this hi-fi that I made running into it's fine. It sounds real good. It's not even isolated. It only gets terrible. Oops. It only gets terrible effect when somebody's purposely sending interference. But when I run it into this purely digital Alesis microverb, like this may be the only one of this exact version. To be specific, you can hear it on some old recordings, but. It's like if you were to run on the same circuit, you run a completely analog driver into like a digital reverb delay or something. It's going to pick up all the ticking noises and amplify them. It's basically what's happening there. But I got to do something about that because I'm not sure what to do about it. Because I'm running through analog tubes. This is tubes, unisolated in the tubes, and then I'm running into this thing that's it's basically nothing but memory chips in there. But yeah, this little part here, let's see. Just ignore the humming. It's just a scratch pad. And that's the other thing is I can't really. I did all this through these headphones, which are like they're they're like the worst sounding headphones ever. I mean, the sound is not bad, but like the acoustics of them is terrible. So, it's like actually helps me to filter out really terrible sounds, but then I find out I filter out too much when I go and I play it through here. I realize that I filtered out. Yeah, that's harassment. You hear that? And it's amplified. That's sound on sound. It's called sound on sound convection. But I realized I filtered out too much and it was a little too bright and amplified too many bright frequencies. It's very mid range because of the acoustics. Like I can tap up here and I can literally hear it through both headphones. These are like, which may be good if I get to know what happens whilst I'm mixing. It definitely shows like terrible sounds, which is most of what I record. And then playing the drums. Like I was tapping on my table one day. I was doing like, what was I doing? I was going, and somebody called the authorities on me. And like I got arrested one day for playing my guitar. So it's like, not only did I lose my home, my children, my business, my vehicles, my music studio, everything. Like now I've lost like that I can just sit here and record whenever I feel like it. And, like I went outside to cut a little piece of wood with a Dremel tool for a rotating speaker I was making. I'm trying to stay inspired. I love my children. I miss my children. All kinds of horrors in my life, and I don't want to get into it to keep this video kind of like based on the music, but somebody like, oh, I'm going straight to the office. I'm calling the authorities. You're not supposed to be doing that. And it's like I have no car. And I've lost everything, man. They call the authorities on me for playing guitar. They call the authorities on me for tapping on a coffee table. They call the authorities on me for rejecting this woman who was trying to seduct me. They call the authorities on me for telling people to leave me alone. I'm literally banned from like 2 entire towns, every Hannaford's on the entire planet. I can't even name how many places I've been banned from by people that were like, they call it gang stalking or mobbing, street theater and mobbing. And it's just like crazy predatory people. And I try to be nice and think like, people are sick and whatever, but it's like I literally lost my children, and then I saw my daughter. I saw her like at the Speedway Mart where I used to work. It used to be Cumberland, and which is another whole thing. Like people who were managers there was like, "This was never Cumberland Farms. You're quite mistaken." I'm like, "No, I'm not. Like only a couple of years ago, I worked here." you know, they're trying to tell me I'm 51 years old. It's just like everything, but there it is, this little thing here. It's like, I don't throw out the devil's children in the bathwater, right? The real question is, why were the devil's children the last ones in the bathwater? Shouldn't the devil been the last one in the bathwater? Like greasy so and so. But here it is. Sometimes the dowsing stuff is like way more interesting. I remember, but it's my friend's music, you know. But the Jimmy, he had a queer brother and some queer doppelgangers, but it's my friend's music. I remember I was listening to the da, 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 to electric landlady, right? And I was like, I heard the drums. They were just like, I'm like, what did they just like turn the knob and cut the drums out of that part, or were they just dowsing and only playing sparsely, which is what. which is what I was doing there. Sounds better with the guitar low and the drums up high. It's just so raw. This part here, right here. Dowsing. It wasn't witchcraft. It's like, it's like magnetic, Some people use sticks, but I never tried it with a stick, but I used like copper rods when I was little and then bend these like copper welding rods and just like kind of hold them like that. And like I would literally walk around and stand on metal and stuff, and I would open my eyes and I would literally see the dowsing rods actually physically, mechanically functioning. So that's kind of what I was doing there on the drum, and it was muted with a couple washcloths to make it dry sounding, and the mic was off to the side of it so it wouldn't be bright, and then the under mic was like very far away from it. But just you know, you can have everything in the world and just have like really bad energy, right? And just negative, perverse hatred all around you, and it just kind of dampens the whole process. I mean, I could play that stuff like so much better in the bass line, but I'm not like I'm not around anything like inspirational. I'm around people going, "Ooh, we can't stand you," and we want to see you fail, and you'll never see your children again. Like I literally got a phone call from my so-called brother, you know, telling me you'll get your children back when you learn to change your attitude and we have some negotiations. But before then, you'll never see your children again. And then his so-called son or somebody who claims to be my nephew or my cousin, whatever he is, he calls me up and he's the same one that was telling me to give him, you know, oral satisfaction. And I told him, I said, do not call me anymore. And he's like, Uncle Mike, I love you, Uncle Mike. And it's like, no, bro, don't mess with me. Narcissistic gaslighting, bro. Like these people are like, and these are their own words, but that's what it is, man. So yeah, it's like sometimes there's like little what they call like hidden gems. I don't even care about gems. I told you about the bag of diamonds, right? My cousin David like came up to me. He's like, "I love you, man. Don't worry, I'm not gay." I said, "Gay means happy." He goes, "You know what I mean?" And he like gives me like a literal like a packet, like a vanilla packet, like filled with like rare African diamonds. And I'm like, bro, I can't take that. I'll lose my food stamps. And then he's like, you could buy a Mercedes Benz with it. And I said, oh, can I give it to Nick? He's like, yeah. You think we did a good thing? I was like, I don't know. I guess we'll find out, right? So I don't want to lose my food stamps. So I take this bag of diamonds and because Nick was talking about buying a Mercedes Benz or how like these elitist people were all into, Lexus and Mercedes Benz, and it was some kind of symbol of like social establishment or something, and it was some kind of a thing to get a Mercedes, which used to be aircraft engine actually. But all of a sudden, I seen this Elvis Duran Mercedes interviews, Mercedes Benz Arena, Lexus Arena, and I was like, Nick, did you end up ever buying that Mercedes Benz? And he's like, yeah, I bought three of them. And I was like, yeah, I saw that. I just started trying not to laugh because it's not funny. It's trap house so and so. I don't do it. I'm just a straight person. But there it is, like a little hidden gem in there. You know, and it's just like I will learn from that, and then I'll be like, wow, the whole song was like all over the place. It was kind of enjoyable, but it was all over the place. But there's like a little hidden gem there, and that would be like crossover, like would be mainstream hidden gem, you know. I don't worship gems, but I guess that's what you'd call it. Be like a little treasure in plain sight. It's like, yeah, lock that in, save that idea for next time. Could do something dry and dowsing like that. Which is like how old drumming was. Like I remember I had like these so-called Hank Williams, which is a couple different guys, right? So Hank Williams greatest hits. I think I had like the real album. Most of the songs uh, were decent on it. Well, I don't know if it's the greatest hits, whatever it was, but the drumming was just like I was like, wow, like totally made the song. Have you? And I always want to do like a super slow version of that. What's it called? Lonesome Highway. Uh, Lonesome Highway, something like that. I always want to do like a super sad, slow version of that, and that would be like absolute dowsing. Maybe with brushes or chopsticks or something on a drum, or, on a coffee can. Have you ever seen a robin weep when leaves begin to die? It means she's lost her will to live. I'm so lonesome I could cry. And that's not a mental illness. It's just like people are absolutely mean. They're absolutely mean, man. I lost my children. Yeah, I guess I'll conclude this video. Conclude, 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 conclude. Can you see it? There it is. Mm. My favorite picture, not my favorite child. My favorite picture. Well, yeah, Valentina Di Tommaso said, do not go there. Do not do this. My child, she calls me my cool because she knows I don't like the way she says it. Just meanness. And then she says, no one in our program has children. And I was like, I do. And I want them back.